Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Back 4 podcast. This is episode 3, and Toby is wearing shades today and laughing at my intros again. Throwback to episode 1. We've got a bit of a special episode today, bit of a Prem prediction. Also going to be discussing the Boxing Day games, a few games that we watched over the weekend as well. And just before we start, we want to extend our condolences to the family and friends of football legend Pele, passed away earlier this morning.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. On a bit of a brighter note, we have new setup. We have a new camera, so you're not watching us film on a fucking sweet potato.
New shades.
And new shades for Toby. New kit for me. Christening chain as well.
Claps.
And we've got
kit,
some.
You guys can hear this.
It's a good kit. It's a good kit. It is clean.
Disgusting.
It is so clean. I will not accept this disrespect.
And we got
Very
fuck with
disrespect.
teeth.
We got fuck
It
with
looked
teeth.
good in a rally,
with
you
teeth.
know, but I don't know about a football.
It's disgraceful.
I'm not-
Alright, we
Alrighty.
digress.
Yeah, so we got new stuff in the background for you people to look at.
Mm.
Anyways, oh yeah, we're starting off with the YouTube comment. Yeah, so we did get a special comment on our last very special
Very
comment.
special.
You love the support though.
So hopefully to engage the fans, make sure to leave us a comment on our episodes, and we might get around to talking about whatever you say on the podcast. We might not. Please make it football related.
Preach.
But yeah, we're gonna start things off discussing this video. Boys, this comment reads, can we stop pretending Australia getting out of the group stage was some huge achievement? Australia have a larger population than Denmark and Tunisia put together with 10 million to spare. I don't
Preach.
think it's that impressive to finish second in a group of 4 countries like that. And let's face it, Argentina were far better in that round of 16 clash. Should have been a far bigger score than 2-1.
Well, first of all, a country's population doesn't define how good at football they are. Otherwise, communist China would be winning every World Cup, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
How
In
does
your
that
home
make?
nation.
How can you? Oh,
And your home nation will be coming second.
Legit.
that's no, that'd be. Oh yeah, that would be.
Would be.
And then your second home nation
And,
would be coming
you
third.
guys still would suck. So like
No, we'd be 13th at the World Cup. We'd be 13th.
Is
think we're
Ethiopia
13th. 300 million people.
What the
Facts. And I'm one of them. Pride.
No,
Continue with the comment.
And
I
you've still
fucking
got
care.
your country has the combined GDP of Dougal's yearly salary. That's crazy.
Probably,
bro. That is
probably.
nuts. Alrighty. But yeah, just I think that's enough said about that. Really, I mean, look, countries like Denmark and Tunisia, they invest way more into football than Australia does. Compared to the fact that this is the 5th most popular sport over here behind.
Yeah, it's like the third. I don't
actually-
think it's the 4th.
It's the highest
behind-
played sport at
we got-
grassroots
we got
level.
highest played sport at grassroots level, but it's got less investment than swimming,
cricket.
AFL,
Cycling.
NRL, everything.
Cycling as well.
Cycling, cricket.
Statistically,
Cycling
cycling has more
bro.
funding. I saw that.
Cycling's got more.
Saw it on
investment.
Optus Sport Instagram page. They said cycling.
Summarize,
And
basically.
And Denmark's first.
great.
That's their first sport.
It's most
Yeah.
countries' first sports.
Yeah.
It is, to be fair. But yeah, then again, I mean, it's all about resources, isn't it? I mean, Australia does have the resources, but we just don't get the investment we need to progress football enough in this country.
And
It's
also,
Anthony
like,
Albanese.
say beating Denmark's not impressive when pretty much every single one of their players were better than ours. That's what makes it
And
impressive.
they made it to the semi-finals of the Euros.
But we have vibes.
Like, it's
That
not like
was-
we
yeah.
knocked out a bunch of nobodies, really.
Yeah.
It was an impressive
Yeah.
win. The way
Very
we did
impressive.
it as well, and then the way we adjusted at the end, it was phenomenal.
Even that Tunisia team beat a full-strength French team, just
Oh,
absolutely ran them
yeah,
off the road,
no.
full strength. We are incredible.
But
the
to be fair,
population.
what he said at the end about Argentina should have popped us by more. They should have popped us
Oh,
by
yeah.
more.
Oh, 100%. But
Should have clapped us.
They should have.
but then again, what did their 2 goals come from? Really, it came from what?
Matt Ryan think he's a 5-star
good-
skiller.
A well-worked corner.
Us giving Messi about 20
Actually,
years
it was
worth of
well-worked,
space in between him and our fucking defenders holding on the edge of the 18, and also Matt Ryan thinking he's fucking Edison for some reason.
Yeah, but if Lautaro Martinez wasn't like paraplegic, they would have had like 5 goals.
That is true.
So they should have beat us.
That
by
is,
more.
that is Lautaro Martinez.
And what did our goal come from? It was a deflection. Like
Hey.
it was 2-1, but we have to admit it could have been.
Oh, it could have been more.
Could have been way
It
worse.
should
We
have
got
been
lucky.
more, but I feel like we put up a
Especially
strong
towards the end, I
performance.
think we did quite well.
He
So
took
I
it.
think
Yeah.
based on the score and towards the end, the chances we had, I felt we could have maybe taken them to extra time, but that's it.
Well, we
Potentially.
did better than most countries. Look at Croatia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Saudi Arabia.
Once again, fuck Croatia.
What do you mean, mate? Kramaric the goat?
Kramaric,
Please
go.
disrespect my
I
goat.
don't want this disrespect.
We've lost one of the greats today. All right, a new one is coming through
Yeah.
right now. His name is Kramaric, and he plays at.
But that's the thing.
Hoffenheim.
He was always great.
He was
always
great.
was.
He
But
always
now
was.
he can
2
finally
goals
get the
against
recognition
Canada,
he
man.
deserves.
You just can't.
Did he?
2 goals
He
against
did.
Canada.
He scored two
Yeah,
against
there you
Canada.
go.
Mate,
See,
it's just
poor ball
hands
knowledge.
down.
It's the only 2 goals he
Right.
scored. all tournament.
Beta.
Daniel clears my.
How do you not know about the goat?
I'm
There you
sorry,
go.
boys. I'm sorry.
Fake
Thank
fan.
you.
Fake Kramaric
That's my
fan.
bad. That's my bad.
We might accept your apology. Potentially, maybe.
I
Potentially.
don't know how you could ever accept my apology.
If you buy us all a Kramaric shirt,
Yeah,
Hoffenheim,
exactly.
not Croatia. Hoffenheim.
Oh, boys. Once we get to 1,000
Can't be the
subscribers,
Croatia kit,
once
yeah.
we get to 1,000 subscribers and we get
That's what I
YouTube ad revenue, we will get a nice Kramaric kit for the backdrop here. But until then, please like and subscribe and share this because we are shameless and we need followers. Toby,
Don't drag us.
I
into
need
this.
to
This is
eat.
you.
To-
This is
Toby,
you.
Toby,
You're
this
shameless.
is you.
I need to eat.
Huh?
I need to eat.
I think you've eaten
This
too
is
much.
getting
I
my
think you've
money
had a bit.
back.
You had a bit too much to eat. Let's actually
Yeah.
get into this
Let's-
now.
let's
I think
dive right
waffled.
into the
we've,
Prem.
we've dissected the comment like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
let's-
owned.
let's
Alrighty,
get straight into the
let's
next
get into
topic.
the good stuff. So yeah,
Sorry,
Prem
Dan.
predictions. Toby, do you want to start us off, mate?
Prem predict all the Prem games first.
Oh,
think
do we
we talk
want to
about
do?
the
Oh,
games
yes.
first.
Sorry, yeah. Prem games
Yeah,
first.
What do we? Let's talk about the first game. Fulham. Not Fulham. Brentford, Tottenham. I thought Brentford were much better than Tottenham for 60 minutes of that game, and then they
Admitted.
for some reason switched it on,
Yeah.
and then they scored 2 goals in quick succession. But I think Brentford were unlucky not to come away with 3 points. Ruben Dan, did you guys watch that game? It was an early one.
That was quite early. I saw some highlights, and I
Yeah.
just think Tottenham's defending was awful from what I saw with those two
It's
Brentford
tough.
goals. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
a fan. Not a
Yeah.
fan of Tottenham, and they made a lot of signings. Look, I'm.
We're dead serious
Facts.
here.
What do we think of Tottenham?
Shit.
Facts.
Uh,
Continue, Ruben.
no one
Yeah.
at the of the stadium
Yeah,
for
we
that
didn't-
though.
yeah.
Ah, I got the cunt. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, no. So Tottenham are just.
Bleep that, it's too good.
No
bleep
clap.
that one. Bleep that one.
No,
Now you
clap.
gotta bleep it. My family watches the podcast. You gotta bleep that one.
Gotta watch your words.
Nah.
Continue, Ruben.
Look, Conte ball. It's not the most attractive, but yeah, it gets results at the end of the day. So
Facts.
Barely though. Barely.
it's
To be
Tottenham.
fair, as soon as
It-
Eric
it
Dyer,
is Tottenham. Like
Yeah.
you're working with
They're-
Daniel Levy, bro. Like
but like as soon as Eric Dyer, you see that clearance that led to the corner.
Oh
like,
my
as soon as that
God.
happened, you know they're gonna score.
Yeah,
like, this is the
They
shittest
start
clearance
playing
I've
the
seen in my
slow-mo
life.
Optus Sports replay of it. It's
Yeah.
like, they're cooking. Yeah.
It's so pointless. man.
it's just Tottenham being Tottenham. I mean,
It
there's not really
really
much to
is.
say about it.
Yeah.
It's happened a lot where they've come back from big deficits this season, but they shouldn't be in that place in the first place. They're the fakest contenders I've ever seen in my life. They're pretenders. They're not title. They've never been title contenders. They don't have
I
that
don't
kind of.
even know how
They don't have that dog in them, man. They don't.
how they even make it to that Champions League final that time.
They got a bit of an
they
easy
got
run.
an easy draw, man.
Easy draw,
And
but-
then Ajax just decided we don't want to defend anymore.
And Lucas Moura
decides that he's actually
channeled
Brazilian.
fucking Messi's
Realized that
demons.
he was Brazilian.
Yeah.
And then when Alex was asleep, I remember Dele Alli tried to chip
Oh, that was
Allison
Oh, yeah.
when he was on his line.
I'm so glad I slept through that Champions League grand final. I'm so
grand
happy.
final.
It was a good game
I'm so
from my perspective.
It was
yeah,
terrible.
I no wonder why it was great.
Yeah.
Just a
Good
bit more
vibes.
on the Brentford Tottenham game. I actually thought Ivan Toney was not fantastic that game.
Really?
He did pop up with the goal, but I was not overly impressed, to be honest.
He didn't do anything wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong, but he didn't really do anything overly like right.
What do you want him to do?
He's gambling
What do you
on
want him to
Tottenham
do?
to win,
What more do you want him to do though?
Look,
He's
to
a
be
striker
fair,
for Brentford, though.
Tottenham did a really good job at closing him down. I'd say their 2 goals came from their own mistakes purely.
So they didn't do a good
Especially that
job.
second goal with Dyer from the set piece. Ivan Toney gets really good to get in that position, but if you're not scoring there as a striker, you deserve to be plastered all over social media as a flop.
You can say that about every single one of Erling.
I can say that
Haaland's
especially about Darwin Nunez.
Yeah, but
Nunez.
we got Cody Gakpo. We'll get into that.
Oh my God.
We'll get into that later.
What do you do? He didn't do anything wrong, man. He did everything right. He didn't.
I
he-
don't think
the way he played, let Mbomo do a lot more. than
That's
Toney
what
was
I'm
doing.
saying. I'd say the only real thing that he probably. It sounds weird because I'm saying that the biggest thing he did to impact the game was the fact that he gave Mbomo space. But
It's pretty big. if
then
you ask me.
again, Mbomo I feel was a lot more impressive than than Tony was, at least for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's like.
And then again,
It's like
I
Haaland
can't
against
credit
Bournemouth.
Ivan Toney with solely drawing the space for Mbeumo, because Tottenham were shoving like 2 or 3 fucking people on the guy, like, you know.
Yeah, so it's like
No, but
Haaland
I'm not-
against Bournemouth though.
Okay, but
Haaland didn't score against us. That's because he had all 3 of your centre backs marking him. Like, what do you expect him to do when he's got multiple men marking him?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but then again, I can't say, Haaland was creating space for everyone. He has no idea he's creating space. He's just got everyone on him, so there's naturally space there. He's not doing it consciously. It's just they've set up to go on him like that. So if Haaland's making certain movements and runs to create space, fair enough. I didn't see Tony doing that. I just saw him
did. I saw a lot
having
of that.
defenders like
He was dropping
this whole
deeper.
game.
He was dropping deeper. He's going into the channels. He was doing a lot actually.
I saw him
from what
dropping
I saw.
deep quite a lot. That is a fair assessment, but you know,
Yeah, fair. It's a fair point.
I'll have to
guess.
rewatch that game because obviously there's something.
Fairs. Moving on. And well, I guess Everton Wolves. It's kind of unlucky for Everton. It's a big loss for them, I'd say. They really needed a win.
Potence.
That was and like they didn't even deserve to win as well. Like Everton did not deserve to get a result out of that game.
Pretty
But
sure Wolves were controlling that game. I watched a bit of it.
yeah, it was kind of the Yerry Mina goal was kind of like it happened. It was kind of against the run of play in my opinion. But
Yeah.
Wolves did well from there on. But I don't see Everton like they don't have a lot of spark in them up front. I feel like they need what's his name? Anthony Gordon. He hasn't like at the start of this season and the end of last season. He had a lot of his finishing ability was actually quite good. Every chance he got, he'd put it away. But towards it in this mid part of the season, he's been a bit mid.
He's fallen off.
He got
He's
linked
fallen
with a
off a lot.
40 million move to Chelsea. He's just like,
Yeah, I don't know if that has
boys,
anything
come
to do
on.
with it. Like
Come on now.
I don't know.
He's
if
on
him
his
not
Dwight
getting that
McNeil.
move.
He's on his Dwight McNeil shit, bro. Like he gets linked with the big move, and he's like, okay, we got to take a step back here. Like, come on.
Nah, Dwight McNeil's quality. But anything else anyone else wants to say about that game? I thought it was unlucky.
I just saw a 5-4 opponents and
Yeah.
basically that's
So that was a pass from Jan Moutinho as well.
Yeah,
That pass was
yeah.
insane.
absolutely incredible.
Half volley. It was insane. Better than Cancelo's pass.
I'm very interested to see what Wolves can do under Lopetegui, but
Absolutely nothing. They're
You
just
see
I-
Lopetegui's celebration. He celebrated like an absolute NPC after the game. He was like doing this like with a straight face, and then he goes, he like shakes Lampard's hand, and then just walks off.
Oh my lord.
you got to put that as your next celebration at Beaming.
Yeah, just
I'll just do a Lopetegui, Real Madrid reject, Sevilla reject.
It wasn't really a Real Madrid reject, considering that he got fired before his job ever started. Really, I think he more rejected.
That's rejected him though.
No, he rejected Real. Real didn't reject him because he rejected Real to take the Spain job.
Yeah, big man team. But anything else anyone else wants to say on that game?
Not particularly.
pretty
No.
dead.
I think Wolves are going to improve a lot under Lopetegui. in my
I don't
opinion.
know.
Not maybe not a lot, but they're not going to be in the relegation battle.
Are you sure?
I
What?
don't think
reckon
so.
I just want Diego to score already.
Diego Costa's so mid. So bad. He
You
was
can't
ass.
say to a club legend.
He was
over
terrible.
Brother, he was
He's
playing,
been
he was
shit
playing
since
in Brazil.
Chelsea.
He was playing in Brazil.
He's been shit since
Like,
Chelsea.
He's just collecting a bag at this
He actually is.
point.
He's been shit since Chelsea.
The best thing about him at Wolves so far was his announcement video, and that's it.
That video
No, it
was
wasn't
cold
even
with
the
the
announcement.
Wolves.
It was the video of him like trying to get near
The Wolves.
yeah.
Yeah, it was cold.
Oh my
But
God.
next game, Brighton Southampton. Again, there's not much to say on this. Southampton are getting relegated.
yeah.
Like they're so bad. They were missing a lot of they were missing Lavia, Livramento, people like that, but they just look bad.
As a City fan, I'm sad about it because I like to see Bazunu and Lavia doing well.
He had a bit of a stinker against Brighton.
He did. I think he'll do big things.
Lavia was
eventually,
good. He's been good this season though.
but
Remember Lavia?
Yeah.
For an 18-year-old who hasn't
It's
had
a
like first
big
team
jump
experience.
as well, like League One with Portsmouth to
first
Premier
team.
League,
But,
with arguably one of the worst defenses in the league. But
Yeah.
it's just they got a very young squad. I said this at the start of the season as well. I said they went very risky investing heavily in young players because if they don't survive this season, then ultimately what does it get for them? Because they're going to lose these guys at cut prices. And they're not going to stick around to play championship football when a lot of them should be playing in top 5 leagues.
I don't even think it's that. For me, they lost a lot of key players over the years, right? They lost Bednarek. Bednarek's out on loan, but they lost Vestergaard as well. But they've replaced those two, right? They got Salisu, they got Bella
They
Contra,
got
who are
good money
better.
for Vestergaard
They're
as well.
better. They lost Oriol Romeu in the summer. They haven't replaced him, and I think that's been the biggest miss they've had this whole season. They've lacked a normal 6. Romeo Lavia and James Ward-Prowse are both great footballers, but they're not good enough defensively in my opinion for a
No.
midfield duo.
I was very
Double
excited
pivot.
to see a Romeo and a Lavia and Oro Romeo double pivot.
Romeo's actually was so class as well. But
He's been good
Crazy
for
because
Girona as
people
well.
He's
were
quality
saying
I was
football.
very happy when I
He's
saw
really
it.
good. He's
people
actually
were
quality.
saying he was one of the worst CDMs.
But they don't know ball, man.
They
He's
don't,
actually
yeah.
quality. He was quality. I
It's
rated him
like
highly.
age-old saying, mate. You watch football, you don't see Romeo. You watch the football game, you don't see Romeo.
He's
You watch
quality.
Romeo, you see the football game.
But yeah, the Southampton, I think they're getting relegated. But
Sure.
next game, Palace Fulham.
Palace were awful, bro.
They were awful, but like in my opinion,
red
the two
cards,
Reds
yeah.
were soft. I thought they were soft.
Boys, we have to ask the resident Fulham fan, Daniel. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Right, class. Fulham are just on a different level, like,
Quality.
but they're just quality.
I thought
Like,
Mitrovic was really
Mitrovic
good.
is my daddy, as I can say.
It's a win they had to have though,
Yeah.
especially with 9
Mm.
players. Push everyone forward, get as many
Mm.
goals, get your
Mitrovic
goal
was-
difference up.
Mm.
It was different gravy.
They've just not being biased as well. They've just shown a different level, like, of them because
It was 11
In terms of
v
championship
9,
clubs,
mate.
yeah.
It was 11.
There's
v
not
9.
even that.
It
It's
was.
like-
it was.
it's-
To be-
I'm
to be
talking
fair,
about-
Quite
They
frankly,
were,
talking
they
about
were
the-
dominating
And
that
Crystal
game
Palace were
before
missing
Tyreek
players
Mitchell
as
got
well.
sent off.
I'm talking
But
about
Crystal
the
Palace
whole
were missing
season
players as
so
well.
far. Like,
They are missing players, but
My big thing was I thought the two Reds were soft. I thought they were both
no,
incredibly
Tompkins
soft.
was fair because it's a second
Mm.
yellow, and Tyreek Mitchell.
But I thought it was I don't think it was a
Mitchell goes
foul.
and
He was blocking.
studs up.
He was blocking it off so that Geiser could come and get it. I
don't think he gets a yellow.
I
For
don't
the
think
foul.
it's a
He gets a
yellow.
yellow because he's got his elbow up here.
Yeah.
While he's
Even
blocking.
still, I don't think it was that. I think it was soft.
You can't raise your elbow like
No,
that.
I think it was soft. And then the
Put your
Tyreek
arm
Mitchell
out.
one.
If he puts his arm
Was
out,
Tyreek
it's
Mitchell
fine.
second
but
yellow?
You can't raise it. No, Tyreek Mitchell was straight red.
Yeah, that one I don't say it was a straight red because it was kind of like it was a little late and it was studs up, but it was not dangerous in my opinion.
It was
No, but
lame.
it was on the
studs up
but
on
it
the
wasn't
leg.
even like it wasn't high up on his leg or anything like that. It
It
was.
doesn't. It's still.
wasn't
I think it was
studs
more
up.
just the fact that it was studs up late. And
I think it was
above
because he
his
looked
ankle.
injured. I thought it was because he looked injured. I think that's the only reason he got.
It
sent
was
off.
above the ankle late studs up.
It wasn't even that high above the ankle, but
It's still.
But it still
Crystal
is
Palace
above
did
the
not
ankle.
look good. I don't think it was. I
You
think
can't show studs when you
I'm
get
not saying
challenges,
they weren't
bro.
Reds. I'm saying if I was a Palace fan, I'd feel it was
Yeah, that's
soft.
probably because.
Yeah, it's black excellence. It's black excellence.
Yeah, that's why.
It's black excellence.
That was shocking,
Yeah.
bro. That was
But
worst
Edouard.
performing team this week. One of the greatest players of all time. don't comment on Edouard.
fuck that guy.
Nah,
You got to
Edouard's
feel
a bad guy.
for Tompkins as well. I think that was what was it? His first league start in.
Because he hasn't played in ages.
Yeah, it was his first league start in like 200 and something days or
He
something.
gets sent off.
He got sent off.
Rightfully so. He's not good. But moving on to Newcastle Leicester. Leicester without James Maddison have no creativity.
Yep.
Mm.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They look dead.
They really need a new 10 in the window. At least a backup.
It's funny for me because I actually reckon Newcastle could get James Maddison. And it'd be because they've just lost to him 3-0.
Do you think they need him?
Potentially, yeah. I could see him replacing Joe Willock.
That is fair. He is a
That is
massive
true.
upgrade on Joe.
I would say Almiron, but Almiron's been popping
Do a
off this
swap
season.
deal, man. Do a swap deal.
Swap
Mm.
deal. I don't think Joe Willock would fit.
They've been
Leicester.
phenomenal.
Nah, probably
this
not,
season, Newcastle.
Who Newcastle? They have.
They have been
They have the best
great.
defense in the league. The best defensive record in
Best
the league.
defense.
Sven Botman's been.
I can't even say,
oh,
it's because of the money they have. They
They haven't even spent it.
They haven't
They
even
haven't spent
spent it, lad.
They bought what?
They're
Sven
using-
Botman, Isak,
Trippier.
and Bruno.
To be fair,
Guimaraes.
Isak was what, £60 million or something?
He's been injured this whole season.
Huh?
He's been like injured for majority of the season.
He scored like 2 goals on his debut and then just got
Scored
injured.
against Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
Sad. We won
Oh
that
my
game.
God.
But yeah, they just look good, man. That midfield is very, very
Joe
quality.
Linton,
It reminds me of
Guimaraes, like
sort of the opposite of what City's early spending was like. Maybe
Also
like
that.
City spending once we got Guardiola around there. It's just making these like sort of younger signings for around like 40 to 50 million, but you know they're going to be there for the long haul and they're like ambitious. They're ready to stay on with the club. And I really appreciate that kind of business because it shows ambition from the club. I think also the fact that we got these guys have so much money. They could sign any young wonder kid in the world. They went for Garen Qual. My guy is quality. He's going to the top.
Yeah,
To the top.
it's very true. But they just look good. Almiron's one that surprises me still because I only got him in fantasy like in the World Cup break. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't back him. I saw him score 1 week. Not
So
gonna
you
score
saw the
again.
Jack
Oh,
Grealish
no, that's right.
slander,
You're
and
talking
you were
about
like,
3 or
Grealish
2
is so funny.
seasons. Talking about 2 seasons.
Yeah, he scored 9 goals in his first 100 and something games, and then now he scored 9 goals in
Right.
10 games.
he
Yeah,
believed,
which
he
is
believed the Jack Grealish
Yeah,
slander,
man.
and
Jack,
he
he
paid
took
for
that
the
he took that
consequences.
personally.
He heard True Geordie call him championship quality on the podcast.
Because he was, bro. He was.
And look what
All of a
happened.
sudden-
Songs clicked, bro.
He
Eddie
shut
Howe
up-
just
no,
come in
hold
and
on.
he's changed him. Like,
He
it's
shut up
crazy.
Jack Grealish, and now True Geordie's cancelled. So like, who's
Facts.
really winning?
Who's really
Almiron's
Almiron,
winning.
Almiron's in his.
He's going to
villain
find a
era.
Brazilian passport in his backpack like tomorrow.
He actually, bro, it's not even because it's not even that he's scoring goals as well. He's actually got good play. Like he's actually just a good footballer.
Yeah.
It's insane. He's really turned his career around.
It just makes me wonder what makes like players like that come leaps and bounds in a matter of
I think
weeks.
it's Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe has done a
Eddie Howe's
tremendous
such a
job.
good back,
Tremendous job.
He did well at Bournemouth as well. But the next game of the week, Liverpool Aston Villa. Big game. Good win. 3-1. I think it could have been more if Darwin Núñez wasn't the shittest striker I've seen in my life. No, on a real, he's not bad. He just needs to learn how to score. Like
For a striker, that's mad,
he just needs to learn how
For
to
a
score.
striker, that's mad.
Yeah, but he just can't.
He's
shoot.
not bad. He just can't
He
score.
does everything.
That's
He's
like
not bad. He just can't.
that would be the kind of reasoning I'd expect for someone to explain why Timo Werner's. In fact, that's
It's
the
the same-
exact.
it's the same
It's
player.
the same
It's the same
reasoning.
player.
It's the same reasoning. It's just, he's a really good striker. It's just his finishing, man. It's just
It's the
not
same. It's the
Yeah,
exact same thing.
can
He's absolutely
dribble, can
better.
pass the ball, just can't
If
shoot.
I'm looking for strikers and I get a scout report that says worst attribute finishing,
He scored 30 plus goals.
yeah,
last season.
gone.
I don't see it this season, boss. That's the
I've
problem.
seen it at times. Like against Southampton before the break, he looks like the 80 million, 60 million, whatever it was, pound player that he is. But I just think his finishing's too inconsistent right now. I think he has the ability and the ceiling to grow into a player that's going to stick at the club for a long time. But he's just got to.
It was always an interesting signing.
It's a long run signing. It's something for the long run. I think.
No, it was
It's
just
a bit of a
always
Gabriel
interesting.
Jesus-esque like sort of signing, in my opinion. Like sort of a younger guy who's scoring loads of goals in the league before they come in. Finishing's a bit inconsistent, but it's one that you can hopefully work on. So either Gabriel was always going to work out one of two ways with City. Either he was going to be a successor, or he was always going to be second fiddle. And he just ended up being second fiddle purely because I don't think it wasn't trash. Well,
Eddie and
I
Katie are
swear he had
clears.
something like the best. He had the best goal/assist per minute ratio in the Prem.
He played off the bench half the time.
Yeah, but he was effective. He was very effective. But
He's a good player. But
yeah, it's just
Eddie
the
and Katie
finish
is
is
so
me,
nice player.
what could have been.
Núñez has always been an interesting signing.
It's an
Though.
interesting signing.
Considering like the kind of forwards Klopp liked to sign before, and then he
Yes.
goes and signs 6'4" Darwin Núñez from Benfica.
It's not a typical one that you'd think.
Yeah.
Even like, I think it just is what it is, man. Like, to be fair, he played with Lewandowski at Dortmund, so you can't. It's at Liverpool. It's not been as kind of like, his key go to. Trying to switch it up. It's gives us some variability up top. But yeah, I think he's one that's going to get better in the future easily. Like if he just works on that finishing ability and his decision making, I think those are the two key things that he needs to work on, which are not really. They're not hard fixes. Like if he puts the time and effort in, he'll fix it. And he's at us with a long contract, so I think he'll be great.
Yeah.
Other things to say about that game. The one goal they scored actually concerned me a little bit because it was a back post cross and it was Matip's man, and it was not the first time that Matip's watching him and then Ollie Watkins just peels to the back post and gets a free header. It was not the first time it happened, so it kind of concerned me that Matip fell for that a couple of times, which
Do you think that's down to Matip or more like the set piece coaching?
Matip. Because it was quite clear that he'd do it again. Like you have to use your common sense. If he's done it 2 or 3 times before this, he's going to do it again.
Yeah.
He just didn't. And I saw people saying it was Trent's fault. Get out of here. If you think that's Trent's fault, you never played ball in your life. He had a good game, I thought.
It's Trent's fault.
Less assists.
Moving on.
This season.
Yeah, well, that's because he's playing deeper. It's stupid. People say, "Oh, he can't defend," so Klopp plays him deeper, and now, he can't get assists either.
Like 20 games. Wan-Bissaka's played one.
Yeah, wasn't it in like the Carabao Cup or some shit like that against fucking Burnley?
Big competition.
But moving forward, Arsenal versus West Ham.
Ooh.
I saw a lot of slander at halftime about this game, saying, "Oh, Arsenal aren't the same. They're losing 1-0." Alex, any thoughts?
Look, I think we all had the sort of same thought pretty much throughout the entire season. We're all I'm pretty sure everyone, including Arsenal fans, is just waiting for this eventual drop-off. Week by week, I'm getting slightly more concerned that it's not going to come to the point where I'm actually like saying, "Oh shit," these guys are looking good.
That's
Gabriel Jesus being out injured is interesting. What's the run of fixtures they got for the next month? Do you know?
I can look at it right now for you, lad.
Because
next is Brighton.
Yep.
Then after that is Newcastle.
Oh.
after that.
Oxford United in the FA Cup.
And then they
But,
got Tottenham,
Spurs,
Leicester,
Man United.
Everton, Brentford, Man City, Aston
So next 4 games. Brighton, Newcastle,
Tottenham, Man United.
Tottenham, Man United.
Yeah.
That is.
It's a big fixtures, but
They are.
cometh the hour.
yeah,
Eddie
but-
and Kedia steps up.
They're 5 points ahead of City right now. I've got to say, I expect them to drop points at least once in those next 4 games.
Once, you reckon?
At least once. At least once.
So
I
don't
wouldn't
think
be
they beat
surprised.
Brighton.
Who to?
Who do you reckon they drop
Newcastle
points
have the
to?
potential to beat them.
Yeah, I was
I
going to
think
say, because I'm not back
especially
It's at
Newcastle's
Arsenal.
defense
It's at
is
Arsenal.
solid.
It's at the Emirates.
It is at the Emirates, but Newcastle's defense has been solid pretty much all season. I don't
They played before.
expect Arsenal to break it down as effectively, especially without Gabriel Jesus.
They haven't played yet this season,
Yeah,
so that's.
but I'm expecting a strong defensive performance from Newcastle. Brighton always seem to have Arsenal's number, which will be very interesting. United Arsenal should be a good game, but I fully expect Arsenal to win that one.
It depends because Arsenal lost the last one against United, but that was unlucky that the goal got.
Yeah, they did. But then again,
I think Arsenal will win at the Emirates.
And North
Spurs
London
at Tottenham
They outclassed
Stadium.
Spurs last time they played. So
That is true.
Very much.
Absolutely.
Emerson Royale.
Isn't it some stat like before Spurs won at Arsenal's stadium last time they played, right? Or was it?
I couldn't tell you.
I swear there was like some stat. It was just like, North London club hasn't won at the other team's stadium for like over a decade or something like that. I don't know if that's still a thing, or I don't know if I don't know if I got that correct. I'm not too sure.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Fake facts,
But-
Alex.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Polluting the people.
Yeah. Look, at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it's a tough
Still
one.
think Arsenal win.
Oh no,
I
the Tottenham
don't know.
fans.
I don't know.
Ooh.
Arsenal have been solid
Arsenal still
defensively. Don't get me wrong, but
I don't see.
I think they win that. They win that midfield battle for me.
If Bentancur
my
comes
opinion.
back, it could be interesting.
Mm.
But
I just think Arteta had Conte on complete
I
lock
won't be
that game.
surprised if Arsenal drop points in. I don't think they will, but if they drop points in maybe 3 of those games, I wouldn't be overly surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. But I don't see how. I think Arsenal will come away pretty heavy with the points in that game.
I'm
In this fixtures.
expecting maybe 2 wins, a draw, and a loss. I'd say
Even still,
I lost to Tottenham, draw to Newcastle, and win the other 2 games. That's what
you said lost to Tottenham.
I think they'll lose to Tottenham.
Fair dues,
I
man.
think they'll lose
That's
to Tottenham.
crazy. I don't. I think it draws.
I think.
Well,
I think
Conte
they're
need-
due a slip up. They're due a slip up.
they slipped up against Leeds, didn't they?
They
1-1, and it nearly went 2-1 with the penalty at the end, but it didn't count. But
Oh yeah.
this thing is though, they're 5 points ahead of City. You still have to verse City twice.
That is
So
true. That is true.
you don't know what's going to happen. I still think Arsenal could pull through, but I think realistically, Man
It's
City
going to
will
be
win.
tough.
It's going to be tough for Arsenal, but they have a lot of key players. I think Partey has been immense this season. I think he's been immense
Xhaka as well.
in his time at Arsenal. Everyone's stepping up. I think,
Ex-Hacker.
God's not
Nketiah-
answering my prayers by letting that man get injured.
but even still,
I've been
if
praying.
Partey gets injured, it's wraps for Arsenal. They don't have anyone to replace him. But Nketiah, I thought was actually quite good. See, sorry, not even going to get started. But Nketiah is a guy that I've put stocks in from a long time, but he played really well. I thought on against
solid
West
finish
Ham.
as well.
Very good finish. The turn was Henry-esque. But yeah. The thing is, the one thing I liked about that as well is he tried it a couple of times before actually doing it, or before actually pulling it off. I like to see that when a player does something many times, it doesn't work, but they keep trying it and it works, pays off. I like to see that.
Yeah.
Darwin Núñez did it the
Watkins
first game of the season against
as
Fulham
well.
with the back heels.
Watkins, it's mattered.
Daniel, do you have any thoughts on maybe the title race or the next up and
It looks all Arsenal, to be honest, at the moment. As you guys said, we're hoping for that downfall, like everyone is. But
I can't spare the Arsenal.
I
fans
can't.
in
I
the
can't
prefer-
bear.
I
I can't
prefer
bear
Arsenal to
the another fucking Invincibles.
yeah.
But as
No, that was one game.
what an Arsenal and a Tottenham does at this start of the fucking Daniel Blank.
Oh
I
my
like
God.
it.
I just looked back and you had the-
I was
you had
wondering
the-
what happened. You just stared at me. I was like, what the
No, I just looked at you like you were staring like this. Like I'm like, what the?
Did we break him, boys? I'm only going to say this because I know he watches the podcast. Preston's Instagram stories after Arsenal wins
Yeah.
the most dog shit things. Stop doing it, boss man. You
No,
suck.
I like it.
No,
It's
no,
team
no,
spirit.
no.
It's team
No,
spirit.
no, no, no.
Up the
Get
club.
that out.
And I will put
Kick
this
it
out
out.
there now. I prefer
They're
Arsenal
going
to
to
win
lose
the
to
league.
Brighton.
I'd prefer Arsenal to win the league than Man City.
Well, would you rather?
Personally,
No.
personally, I'd rather City win it.
Oh,
but,
who would've
you know,
thought, but
That's,
yeah.
that's just.
I'd rather
Well, do you
Arsenal.
want to see fans celebrate the?
Would
league
I
or-
rather see Arsenal celebrate winning the league, or would I rather see
No
Man City
fans.
fans
Yeah,
celebrating
quarantine,
winning
yeah.
it 3 times in a row?
Yeah,
I'd rather
well,
see
I mean,
all
Arsenal.
look-
3 of us.
Yeah, it's like
That's
the
big for you,
quarantine. You know the WWE stands with the
Mm.
quarantine thing. That's the.
Give me a hell yeah.
But let's move on. I'm gonna skip the Chelsea game for now. I'm gonna go to Man United.
Oh.
No, we'll come back to it. I just have an interesting thing to talk about.
Oh yeah, true.
Man United 3-0 Nottingham Forest. I thought it looked easy for Man United, but I thought the first 2 goals at least, I think Nottingham could have done a lot better.
Steve Cooper staying on was a stupid decision, especially
It's a
since
good
they
match.
gave him a
They like him though. It's kind of like Klopp. He's never gonna get sacked.
They like him, but
If he leaves, he leaves on his own regard. He doesn't get sacked.
Here's my thing though. Here's my thing. If they like him and if he was confident in the squad that he brought up, which I don't think he was, obviously, because if the board does like him that much, I'm assuming that the order to make all these new signings came from him specifically. Signing an entirely new squad was stupid, in my opinion.
Signed 2 new squads, bro. That's very good.
Pretty much. He signed 22 players overall.
He was like third highest spend in all top 5 leagues. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
For a club coming up from the championship.
Like, look, we've seen this approach from clubs from the championship in the past, and it never really works. Yeah, particularly, like, Norwich did it a bit last season. They signed some, sort of high-profile like league around their players, and Fulham did a few years ago. Notably, guys like Sherla and others. But yeah, it's just I was expecting big things from Nottingham, not seeing it, and I gotta say I think it's partially down to Steve Cooper not being that fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things, but they just aren't great. They just aren't good. Ruben, any thoughts as a Man United fan on this game?
Well, the game was at 4 a.m. and I was sick, so I didn't get the chance to watch it. But I've heard good things about Casemiro.
He was
coming
quality,
through.
Very, very good.
Fred scoring.
It's a good finish as well.
I think it was Rashford.
Rashford played very, very well, I thought, especially in the first half. Very good on the counter-attack. I think his decision-making was excellent this game as well, which is something I don't usually say about Rashford.
At first when Ten Hag came in, I thought he had such a big job to do. And he's done well so far, to be honest. Like, there's not much he really could have done with the squad he had. So that I used to think we weren't going to finish in the top 6. That's what my prediction was at the start of the season. But now, I didn't even want the season to start. I was talking to Alex about it. I was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm not watching this crap. But
Support Perth Glory.
No, I didn't say that.
Never.
I'm not that depressed. But shout out to Perth Glory. But the way we're playing, I think we're good enough for top 4. For sure.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think that to me, 4th spot is between Liverpool and United.
You reckon Newcastle take that?
Yeah, easily.
We'll get to Prem predictions later, but I might have some.
I think we come.
But the one thing I want to say about why I skipped to Man United first is, speaking of Casemiro, I've seen this a lot on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Who do you think's better, Casemiro or Partey this season?
I thought you were going to say Rodri.
I was about to, but I messed my words up.
I
think Rodri's clear. I think anyone.
Rodri is absolutely clear.
Best CM in the world.
Casemiro or Partey. I have my opinion, which I've now realized is apparently not the norm. But what do you think?
I'll say, look, Casemiro's only just came into the squad, and Partey's been like playing at. In fact, when Casemiro first came into the team, he wasn't exactly phenomenal yet. Because obviously he just got in, but Partey's been consistently good all season, so you kind of have to go with Partey.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I'd much rather my CDM drops consistent like 7.5 or 8 performances rather than dropping 2 9s and then dropping 7 6s and then dropping another 2 9s. Casemiro is fantastic at times, but then at other times he just runs off the face of the planet. Like he's just not there.
Yeah.
Whereas Partey is always there. Like you don't
see him, but he does the job.
Yeah,
he does everything.
He does so much in that midfield, man. He carries that midfield. Like we were saying. Well, I won't say carries the midfield per se, but like we were saying, if he gets injured, I think that's wraps on Arsenal.
That's just because they don't have a replacement though. Like you look at
but he does so much. He does so much.
Yeah, that's why they don't have a replacement because they can't find someone that does that much. But I just think it's that Partey doesn't stand out as much because you have someone like Odegaard who is a lot flashier. And he makes those Ozil kind of passes where he kind of sticks out a lot more, and people, he's the best one. But Casemiro, who's he around? Fucking Christian Eriksen, who's gonna fucking die of a heart attack in 2 years. Fucking Bruno Fernandes, who's washed off his fucking head, the Kermit Muppet. Like he stands out so much because he's around a bunch of deadwood. I said what I said. I don't take it back.
To be honest,
he stands out a lot more because of who he's around.
Bruno had a decent
on the day of Pele's
passing
passing as well. We're already doing this.
He died of cancer, not a heart attack. But rest in peace. Yeah, I just think Casemiro stands out more because he's playing with a bit more of deadwood per se than what Partey is. But yeah, I think Partey's the right choice in my opinion. Oh wow, I didn't even mean the deadwood thing, but yeah. Moving on, we move back to Chelsea Bournemouth. 2-0 Chelsea. 2-0 Chelsea. I thought Havertz looked decent.
Mm.
I think he made a lot of good attacking runs. I
Yeah.
thought he was doing really good. I thought Sterling impressed me the most.
It's
that
about
game.
damn time, by
Oh.
the way. Sterling,
Impressed
Havertz,
me a
and
lot
Mount.
that game.
Oh my god.
Sterling impressed me a lot that game. I thought he
About
did a
time they
lot.
put in a good
Yeah,
performance.
legit.
It is Bournemouth.
This is the only game I didn't watch as well.
We beat them 9-0. We beat them 9-0. Like, come on. 2-0, that's nothing.
Yeah.
They did look
Well,
very,
I mean,
very interesting that whole game.
sometimes-
I thought the whole team showed up though.
I mean, sometimes they surprise you. Like I think it was against
They're not
Leeds
bad.
or something. They're not bad, but they're still not the best.
They're a big team. You
Yeah.
expect to win that game.
They get that odd game in.
Yeah, the whole team did. I thought Koulibaly was really good in that game as well. Reece James, though, to see him come back from injury so soon and then to come back off in the 60th minute with another injury,
Scary.
not good.
Very scary.
It happened to Wesley
Stupid
Fofana as well.
decision.
Yeah.
Very stupid. It happened to Wesley
Very
Fofana. They rushed him
stupid.
back and he got injured again.
Chilwell back as well.
He's not back yet. I don't think so. I don't think he's back
Who
yet.
did we
Yeah,
have then?
that was a
Cucurella.
bad injury for him.
Cucurella.
Not
Why did he even
50
start?
mil.
Why didn't he start? Fuck.
You know what? Who started them?
Reece James, didn't he?
Well, I meant left back. Well, yeah, left back was Cucurella. But
Yeah.
Reece James, I think Azpilicueta came off the bench. It's Bournemouth. Why would you risk him coming back that early?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You have
There's
to
no
ease him
point.
into it. You have to ease him into it. I think it's bad management. It's bad load management
Just
from
starting
Chelsea, and now
straight
he's
up.
Yeah, exactly.
he's arguably your best player and your franchise player for the rest of you for the next 10 years.
I would not say best player, but
Who's
I
better?
will
Who's
say
better?
he-
Who's
he's
better? Who's better
in that Chelsea squad.
in the Chelsea squad right now? Who's better?
Thiago Silva. Thiago
Fairs,
Silva.
but I don't think he's better than Reece James.
Mm.
I think Reece James is the.
I reckon
in terms of
If-
better quality play, full stop, I'd say Thiago Silva and.
If you're asking me
Raheem
who's
Sterling.
going to influence the game more,
Raheem
I think Reece James, and who's more irreplaceable in that squad, I think Reece James. They haven't been able to replace him since his injury.
That's your opinion, but I
the right
think
opinion.
Thiago Silva does so much for that squad, especially with the experience he brings
He's a quality player.
and the fact that
38.
he's 38,
He's 38.
38, and to still defend like he does is
LeBron
crazy
clears.
at this kind of level as well.
Yeah, for me, it's equal in my opinion. Like
Reece
James
James
and
is
Silva, both quality, different positions, but still
Yeah,
quality
good-
in
good
my
players.
opinion. They're both very good, really good for our club. Koulibaly,
Played well.
he's good. He's adjusting still. I know it's been a while now, but
Hey, what about Mendy?
Mendy, who's
He's
Mendy?
He's terrible.
Edouard Mendy.
Who's
He's
Edouard
terrible.
Mendy?
The
Hey,
worst
Champions
keeper I've seen in
League,
my life.
lad. Don't get too cocky.
No, it's just Edouard Mendy. You know?
He's
Bro,
terrible.
Bro, you
He's
support
terrible.
you saw your club win the Champions League and then switch to Fulham a year later. I'm like, I can't
Whoa.
believe it, bro.
After
A
you,
man can dream.
after
That-
Chelsea won the
Man
can
Champions
dream,
League, you
but
hopped
my
on your
God,
phone
man.
like
A man
nothing
can-
happened.
A man can dream that
That's
the
bad.
AEW logo will be on that shirt one day.
Oh my god, this
Yes.
is fucking.
So that's the thing. Well, Chelsea will never succeed with these poor owners, bro. The owners
Ted Bowley's not
suck.
the guy.
Bro, Roman Abramovich wasn't the guy.
No, Roman Abramovich was the
He
guy.
was.
He was the guy,
Oh,
man.
bro,
What do you
bro,
mean?
I'm
They didn't
sorry.
exist till
You-
2003, and he got them so many
You
fucking.
can say Roman Abramovich
silverware.
was the guy. At least he didn't go to the acting manager and say, "Let's play a 4-4-3 formation."
Yeah.
No, Roman Abramovich was most definitely the
I
guy.
love
Probably
that.
one of
He
the best
was.
I
owners of all
love that
time.
man.
One of the
I'm
most-
so
He's one of
sad.
thing to ever
the
happen
best
to that
owners.
club.
One of the best owners of all
Alongside
time.
Didier Drogba, the best.
I'm
thing to ever
so
happen.
sad he's gone.
Frank
Like,
Lampard.
this American clown we have doesn't even know the offside.
He doesn't know. I don't think he knows what he's
He
doing.
had to get the
No.
offside rule
Oh.
explained to him, and he proposed to Thomas Tuchel a 4-4-3 formation, and then
It's
sacked
just-
him a
it's
week
just-
later.
It's just it's just the way he's run it is really poor. Like I think we've mentioned this before, but to sign a
think-
bunch of players that are so clearly Tuchel signings, you don't sign a Bamiyang to play him under Graham Potter. You know what I mean? And then to sack him
Yeah.
before even getting to play again, it's so
He
stupid.
came out of nowhere
So
as
Yeah,
well.
he's-
I remember when I
To be
first
fair, they
saw
were playing. They were having shit results.
They were having. But
It wasn't time.
it was like
You sack
3
him
or
at the
4
start of the
games into
season, or you give him his
It was
time to
3
play
or
with
4
his
games into
signings.
the season
You don't
after
sack
the
him before
transfer
the
window
transfer
opened.
window.
I was so confused.
stupid.
I was at a God, where was I? I was at the beach with my mates. I just flick on my phone, and it just said, God, what?
Fucking hold the mic to your mouth.
Oh yeah. Type in that.
The technician.
Alrighty. Put that on the TikTok. That was a blooper.
They just
Yeah, well, like you see, you know,
just see
we'll
the
get into it.
TikTok.
Yeah, follow us on TikTok.
Follow
But
us on TikTok. Are we keeping this in, by the way? Is it staying in?
At
yeah,
that.
This is
damn
staying
right,
in, alright.
damn right. We don't cut anything. This is live and real.
This is live.
But I think that's enough about Chelsea. Shit club.
Oh, whoa.
Um,
I've got
you're
some
full of-
shit to
you're-
say
What was I
over
saying?
here.
You're a
Oh
Fulham
yeah,
fan.
yeah. So
you got more to say about Chelsea?
I've got shit to say about this American bloody
Oh, yes,
geezer
yes,
with
yes.
this guy. Look, he's like he's playing chess for crying out loud with fucking legit. Like with all the players and all that. He's like, all right, put him here. Put him. He's not a fucking manager for crying out loud. He legit bought a fucking. He legit bought a club to play fucking Football Manager. He's legit bought a club to play Football Manager.
He's an owner, not a manager. He doesn't actually.
No, I mean he's bought the club to play Football Manager. That's what he's done.
Oh my god!
If he doesn't choose the tactics, like
He's not a manager for crying out loud.
so. No, I get what you're saying, but you probably worded it a bit wrong. He is not a football owner. He doesn't know what he's doing.
No.
But Dan, I have a question. I do have a question, Daniel.
What?
So, if you're the manager of Chelsea Football Club and you desperately need a godly striker to save the goal-scoring drought, you're sick of Kai Havertz, you're sick of Raheem Sterling, and you're sick of Mason Mount, who goes up top for you?
I'll tell you now.
Are we talking players already at the club, or are we saying who would you sign?
Who would he sign?
No. We've got to save this because we have
Who would I sign?
and we have an upcoming episode, boys. We have to save it.
But there's only one answer.
I'm
though.
only going to say it right now.
Romelu Lukaku.
That wasn't funny. No, it
was not meant to be funny.
It was the wrong
Bye.
answer.
Oh, we lost Dan.
It was the wrong answer. Dan, go
Felt
go.
enough,
Say it right now. Come on, say it. Say it.
So the answer. Say it. Do the roar.
Kramaric.
Yes, come on.
That's what you were getting at. I didn't even
He said
understand.
the thing, boys. He
He
said the
did
thing.
it.
Well, I was going to say
did
Jake
the line.
Brimmer, was I?
Was
I
I?
Was I?
Was I?
Was I?
Was I?
Was I say Jake Brimmer?
Was I?
Moving on to the final game of the week. The one Alex has been waiting for. Man City Leeds 3-1. Get into it, lad. I'll let you do your deep
Alrighty.
dive.
God, a lot to say about this game, actually. Here we go.
I think Pep should
Alright.
stop playing this system of football. It's really disruptive. And
Right. Bring out the book.
Oh, God. The 4 a.m. kickoff killed me.
no,
But
it didn't. You got City bed sheets.
If you want to skip this for like half an hour, just
No, let's hear it.
Nah,
Let's hear it. Let's hear what he
nah.
said. Let him talk.
I'll
Let me
I'll try
talk.
and brief it. I feel like Grealish actually had a better game than he gets credit for.
Second half. First
That second half was incredible, but that first half wasn't
dead.
Look, his finishing in that first half was shit.
Woeful.
It was bad, but like it was bad.
Sorry.
But
Are you okay?
you're right.
is he choking? Does he need some water?
He's rubbing my
I'm not.
He's rubbing my
I'm not.
feet. He's rubbing my
I'm not.
Stop, bro.
Look, you can look at my feet.
Leave
right
the
now.
man alone. I'm trying to make a point.
Hey, continue.
You're literally rubbing up on my guy, bro. What are you doing?
Continue.
Can you
Hey,
not see?
Hey, that's
You're rubbing up on.
Did I not say a lot? Okay, continue.
Righty. That sounds mad, by the way. But yeah, I feel Grealish had a good half. He made some good chances. His playmaking was strong. Kept possession. Drew like 5 fouls. Made a really good chance for Mahrez as well. But yeah, the finishing was bad. Move it. I swear to God, bro. What is your
He
problem?
rubbed against my.
Continue. Yeah, Mars. Yeah,
Go, keep going, Alex.
keep going, lad.
Oh,
We're
it's
almost
10 o'clock at night, boys. Like,
It's actually 9:47. Get your facts right. Continue.
Yeah, continue.
Continue.
Alrighty.
continue.
He just rubbed his mind
I'm literally not. I'm literally not.
boys, can we get back on with the podcast, please?
Right, go.
Really impressive showing from Rico Lewis as well.
He was quality.
That's the first real time I've ever got to watch him like play a full 90. Because normally, I watch the Carabao Cup and stuff like that, but I didn't end up watching the Liverpool game. Surprisingly, I was gonna watch that one. I just didn't wake up for it. But
Sorry, stop.
I'll stop.
am I doing something
No,
wrong?
all I'm seeing in the corner of my eyes is
You literally rubbed
Yeah, I
mine.
rubbed his. No, Rico Lewis was quality. I saw some.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the game because
Oh,
fuck,
Sam Miller,
How
I'll
long
do
have you
this.
done?
I'll do
Nah.
this.
fuck waking up at 4 a.m. to watch Man City play. But I saw some TikToks. He was dropping into midfield. He was playing the
Yeah.
inverted fullback role quite well, I thought.
It's pretty innovative, this system from Pep. I'm quite liking it, but it
Gegenpress
scares the shit
player.
out of me at times. But
Kagan press player.
look, he is quality. I remember going absolutely apeshit because we loaned out Issa Kabore and Yen Kuto with options to buy at their respective. Actually, no, Yen Kuto didn't have an option. Loaned out Issa Kabore with a 20 million option to buy for Marseille. which I thought was a stupid decision. But Rico's really come into his own. I'd assume that would have played into our decision making there. Other people that impressed me, the back line was solid for the most part. Edison was fine. The midfield was good.
Yeah,
Gundogan didn't impress me overly. I wasn't.
You've just been slandering. Even on Twitter, we saw one of your tweets, and you were like,
Just don't
"Gundogan
like
was
Gundogan.
poor."
Just don't.
No.
rate
He
him.
wasn't poor. He was
Don't
just
rate Ilkay.
there. He was just there.
Still he's German, isn't it?
Huh?
Hate
No,
the Germans.
he's actually a strong man of Turkish descent.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Oh, like
yeah.
Ozil. Yeah. But yeah,
Continue
continue.
about that.
Gundogan didn't impress you.
De Bruyne was phenomenal again, as always. Don't really think there's much else to say.
He
there.
wasn't phenomenal. in
Get
the
this
World Cup.
Algerian fraud out of this starting lineup. I swear
like
to
that.
God. How is
Why?
Foden not starting over this dude? I can't
You don't like him
believe
because he's
it.
Algerian?
He scored a
Huh?
goal.
You don't like him
didn't
because he's Algerian?
No, it's just because he's shit. But like
What? Are you
He-
saying
he
he's
was
shit
gonna
because
last
he's
say
season,
Algerian?
so many
last
things,
season he was incredible. This season he's not got the juice. He's not got the juice at all.
I would agree. He's not got that black magic.
But I feel Foden would work.
He's
Foden
light
would work
skinned.
so much better. He might.
Because he has
He's
Uh,
light skinned.
Magic. Sounds like an NBA.
You didn't put you put Riyad Mahrez in your top 10 Prem wingers of all time. So
Yeah,
when you
I
hear
would
this,
agree.
how do you feel?
It doesn't change the history. He's still a top 10 Premier League winger of all time.
I think we need to have that debate at some point because I think that might be cap. But
We continue. We digress. A potential
Um,
future video.
But yeah, I'm still waiting on Alvarez to come back so I can hopefully see Pep run Haaland, Alvarez, Foden once, please. I just want it to happen. I will be happy. But until then, I have to watch this man once again pick Grealish and Mahrez as our starting winger pair and absolutely kill myself watching this fucking terrorist ball. Like this is some Graham Arnold shit, man.
Saying
Like,
terrorist ball because he's Algerian.
I was wrong with Gary.
Because he's Muslim. Is that would you say he's a terrorist because he's Muslim? Is that what you're trying to say?
Moving on.
That's all the games for this week. So who impressed you the most this week? Let's just say one team. Rattle off the team that impressed you the most. Because for me it was Man United. I would say they impressed me the most. That was a good performance.
Fulham or Newcastle for me.
Yeah, Daniel Rubin.
Respect the Newcastle win.
Yeah, that's true. Actually.
Yeah.
Against a dodgy
shit.
Leicester.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the one thing I'll say about Leicester before we move on, sorry, I just want to.
Probably
Yeah.
Daniel Amati is the shittest centre back I've seen in my
Yes,
life.
yes,
Wallahi,
yes.
get this man out. He's
Yes.
so
Oh,
shit.
So
Nigerian slander.
He's
We're doing
He's
that
Ghanaian, bro. He's
Oh,
Ghanaian.
okay.
He's Ghanaian. Yeah, he's terrible. Once Johnny Evans comes back, I think they'll be better. But yeah, Dan Rubens, what's they impressed you the most this
Yeah,
week?
probably Fulham and United, to be
Fulham
honest.
United.
Yeah.
Ruben.
Yeah, I'm happy with how United played. I was gonna go with Newcastle, and I realized that Leicester, they're just
They are
crippled. It's like it's just
Shit.
To be fair, United
it's just
did beat
beating up a
Brighton.
blind man at this point. Like beating Leicester.
Thanks. But they brought it back a little bit. But yeah. So do we want to get into the Prem predictions or do we want to skip that for this week?
Let's.
Might as well go
Are there
into it
any more
quickly.
games we watched this week? Because I watched a couple of A-League games. Went
You
to
went
the
to it,
Perth Glory versus Wellington game
Oh,
live.
what a game!
What
What
a
a
game.
weekend!
Missed foot
Oh, it was on Friday, but what a week!
Continue.
Yeah,
Perth
Yeah,
Glory,
yeah,
Wellington.
but look, I was at the Western United game. Obviously, without the shed there past the 20th minute, the atmosphere just wasn't the same for the rest of the match. I do feel though the rest of the supporters that were left in the stadium, especially, I was surprised by this. There was a group of like 50 14-year-old kids that gathered behind Ollie Sale in the second half,
Oh, really?
and were just giving him shit just the
Wow.
entire time. I was so proud.
Poor
bro.
Ollie Sale.
I was so proud. Like, imagine
Wow.
being a professional keeper. You're playing on an NPL pitch in a professional game, and you turn around, and literally just 5 meters away from you, there's 14-year-old kids, like just fat 14-year-old kids with a Perth Glory shirt and a cap on, calling you a wanker. Like, it's so.
That's
it-
crazy.
It was elite. I loved it.
Wow.
That's
Tell you
crazy,
what.
dude.
Elite
Um,
vibes.
But yeah, it was a good game. I'm expecting big things from, well, maybe not big things, but I'm expecting better things from Glory. Got a Salim Khalifi contract extension. Taggart signed on.
Oh, how
Hopefully a
exciting.
couple more signings in January to fix things up.
Yeah,
but
honestly.
yeah,
That's super exciting, man.
Would love to see that. But yeah, I think that's enough for the game.
you boys need to come to a Perth Glory game with me. By the
We're
way.
going to Perth
Eventually.
Glory.
I'm
Perth
never
Glory
gonna
women's
go.
game.
Perth
Glory
Glory
women's
women's
We
game.
support you,
No.
women. We want to support
I
the
wanna
team.
go
We
see
might
Sierra
get
Hinton FC.
We might get no, just all of them, bro. We support the women.
Yeah.
We're
Don't go
supporting.
for just
It's good football, man.
Yeah.
We want to support, and we're going to get season tickets.
I love
potentially.
watching W League highlights. So.
I do too.
Yeah.
But any games you guys watch? I didn't really watch anything else other than Prem this week. Still easing back into it after the World Cup.
I watched that idiotic fucking game of the
Melbourne
Western
victory.
United versus Melbourne victory.
They went 10 men, and
10
they
men.
still lost. They still won. They still won.
Oh my
Crazy.
lord,
We're into clubs with no history.
that was
man. We're just
absolutely
finished.
dog shit.
Not much to say there, but Melbourne victory, a shambles this season.
I will just say I did watch Celtics game this weekend.
Did you?
Whoa,
I did watch.
Celtic.
Celtic.
Aaron
Celtic.
Moy, I'm so happy
Oh,
to
yeah.
finally see him doing well again. It is great. Ange Postecoglou is a
Good
fantastic manager.
Good manager.
I think his next job should be in the Prem. But why are you laughing? Genuinely, like, what's wrong with that? He's a good manager, man.
No, he's a good manager. Yeah. Anything else for Celtic, or do you want to move on to the Prem predictions?
They're going to clear. They're going to clear the SPFL again. Like, let's be
They're
honest.
good.
But
That's a good
Come on,
team.
Rangers, lad. Come on.
No, it's
I want you-
Celtics.
I
are a
don't
good
want
team.
your fucking
But,
Rangers.
Moving on, boys. Let's move on. It's enough. Who the fuck cares about Celtic? So for the Prem predictions, we're going to go into the top. Who do we think is going to make top 6? Who do we think is going to get relegated? Top scorer, but that's kind of obvious at this point.
Yeah,
Potentially top assister and Golden Glove, even though I think those two are pretty. Other than Golden Glove, that's pretty straightforward. We potentially do Player of the Year and then Manager of the Year as well, and Young Player of the Year. But starting off, who do you think is going to get 6th place? For me, I have Spurs. I think they're
Yeah, I
gonna fall
know.
off.
I was going to say Tom.
I think they're going to fall off from. They're 4th place right now, but they're It's like three. It's like 1 point ahead of Man United, who are a game in hand. We're only 5 points behind. Yet we have a game in hand, and we have to verse Spurs at Anfield still. So I think we'll both jump those two teams, and it could be dodgy. Daniel, Alex, who do you guys have coming in 6th place?
I reckon United.
Yeah, in 6th place.
You know what?
What?
No, you guys will come back, lad. I reckon.
Come back.
Yeah.
They're 5th place right now.
They're 5th place.
They're 5th place.
Shit.
They're 1 point behind
We won't
Spurs.
finish, bro.
Nah.
They're 1
we're
point
too
behind
good
Spurs.
this season.
Scrap that.
They're 1 point
You guys will
behind
probably
Spurs.
finish 5th. I reckon it's a good position. Fuck it. We'll go Chelsea. I reckon we're finishing 6th. I reckon we'll go.
It's not a bad one.
It's not bad.
If we were doing more than top 6, I was gonna.
I have
say
Chelsea
this.
8th.
I have Chelsea 7th.
I have
Chelsea
7th. I have 7th.
Yeah, I'll go
I
around
honestly
6
see
or
them outside
7
the
for
top
us, in
6,
my opinion.
which is-
They're not. They're not.
I
top
honestly
six.
think they could lose out on that 7th place. 7th place spot.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that remains.
Especially with how much Graham Potter has to adapt to.
yeah,
It's just a lot.
it's gonna be a big January.
Like, they
for
switch
them.
from a manager that plays a back 5 to a back 3. Never handy.
Yeah.
Are you alright?
Yeah. Moving on to 5th
No,
place.
hold on.
No,
I didn't say
moving
my
on.
six- I didn't say who was 6th.
Oh yeah. Who's 6th
United.
place?
I put United.
You actually put United 6th.
I actually put United. as
That's
6th place.
crazy.
Here's the
That's
thing, though. Here's
crazy.
the thing. Obviously, they've released Ronaldo now, so we don't really have to care too much about.
It's going on.
What?
We don't have to care too much about the drama off the field and stuff like that. But I want to see a bit more from them at least. Bro,
But what? He's not even. Yeah, I want to see a bit more too. But I actually
I
have
want to see a bit more of them without Ronaldo. They do have a young squad. I do expect them to do bigger things. I know it's ironic because he doesn't play, but like without his sort of influence around the squad and the dressing room and everything. But I do expect them to get top 4 next season, especially if they have a good transfer window in the off season. But I'm going to put them 6th for now, just because I think that some other teams are either already better or will be better over the course of the season.
I have them at 5th for similar reasons. I think they're good. I don't think they're better than the teams above, but I have above them. I think certain teams are gonna, have comebacks now that a certain Dutch man has been signed. But yeah, I have them at 5th. I think they're good. I think they'll narrowly miss out on 4th place. But yeah, if they got 4th place, I wouldn't be surprised. Ruben, who do you have coming 5th?
5th place, I'm going to go to Liverpool.
That's fair.
Put Liverpool in 5th place. They've struggled a lot with injuries. They've signed Gakpo now, so they've actually got a good
man.
attacking depth now. They have to play Harvey.
To be fair, we have attacking depth. It's
You
just
have
that
attacking
it
depth.
got
it's
very
just-
injured. Like,
Yeah.
all three of our 5 attackers are injured, and Harvey Elliott's playing in midfield, not up front. But is that everything you have to say for Liverpool? Anything else?
Not much. I think it'll be interesting how Klopp adapts the team. They desperately need a Henderson replacement, so
It looks like Jude Bellingham to me. Daniel, who do you have coming 5th?
If I said Man United.
Oh yeah, facts.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
4th place, I
I forgot again, man.
What? Oh, because you talked about 7th, then you talked about 6th. Yeah, 5th place.
5th place, I also put Liverpool.
First.
I do think that midfield is just not good enough at the moment, especially.
Playing Milner in midfield.
You're doubting Thiago, Fabinho, and we played him against you at right back, and he fucking had Foden in his back pocket. Yeah, exactly.
And where are you on the table right now?
We're 6th place, about to jump into 4th. We're gonna overtake Man City, but
but yeah, I think the midfield has just been inconsistent at times this season. I think the defense hasn't been as good as last season, for whatever reason.
Because we have less midfield coverage.
That's primarily it. I do think that you guys definitely need an Enzo Fernandez or a Jude Bellingham in order to fix those problems. I think that would definitely, even maybe an Amrabat.
Hey, Jude.
Nah.
Fabinho played well last game. I would like Amrabat. It's a good
for the first
off the
time
bench,
in
but
forever though, bro.
yeah, because he finally got some fucking rest. He's had a month off, and he's finally got some rest after playing every single game possible.
Sorry, Fabinho's dad. Oh,
no, it's out. But yeah, I think leading on for that, I have Liverpool 4th. I think we do need a midfielder. I think we just need some youth. You know what I mean? I think not necessarily Henderson replacement. I just think he's a bit. We just need some. We've lacked a Wijnaldum replacement ever since he left. We haven't had a midfielder that's going to drive from deep for a very long time now. And I think Jude Bellingham is the perfect guy. I think he's the one. Do we get him? It's a lot of money, especially after we just signed Gakpo. But if I'm praying every night.
I do think that Wijnaldum replacement is closer than people think. I think that Wijnaldum replacement is closer coming than people think.
Yeah, I'd agree too. But we just never got it. I just think we signed Thiago in right before Wijnaldum left, and they're two completely different types of players. Yeah. I think we just need that replacement. Keita is like the right profile, but he's just shit. And we don't. And Harvey Elliott is like kind of coming into that profile, and he's growing into it, but he's still a bit too young. I want someone with a bit more experience under his belt, like Jude Bellingham. But I could see us getting into that top 4. I think we will, especially with someone like Cody Gakpo, because that's the reason Klopp signed him actually. Because what's it called? He said that we signed Luis Diaz in the summer last season. It gave us the push to get into the top 4.
Do you have much of an explanation for Salah this season? He's been on rather poor form.
I don't even think he has. He's got good numbers. I think he started off a bit poorly, but I think he's coming back into it this season towards the end. I think he's just easing his way into it. Again, I think it's with a lot of our squad performing badly. I think it's just fatigue. A lot of taking a bit too easy because they wanted to. I think a lot of players like Van Dijk, I think in particular, just was taking it easy before the World Cup. I think now we're gonna put on a run, and I think we're gonna go for a big win streak. But Daniel, 4th place. Who do you think's gonna come?
I'm gonna go with Liverpool as well.
Liverpool, fair it is. Good list. Ruben,
United. I think we finished 4th.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Alex,
I have got Newcastle finishing 4th.
Newcastle.
I have got Newcastle finishing 4th. It was a big toss-up for me between them and the team that I've put in 3rd. I think it will come down to the final day.
I think Spurs will finish ahead of Newcastle. That's crazy.
Yeah. Look, I think it's going to be really close. Probably down to the final day. Newcastle do have the quality to get that 3rd place finish, I do believe, but my main concern for them would just be consistency. They've been very consistent over the course of the season, but it's like Arsenal. Like you expect a drop off at some point, but it just doesn't come. But yeah, I think their season will be measured by how many points they can take away from the top 6 and whether or not
they've done well. They've done very well. They got unlucky to lose to us. They drew with Man City. They haven't blessed Arsenal yet, but they've gotten very unlucky. They drew Man United.
I honestly think if they beat Arsenal, then that 3rd place is probably looking likely. But
not even that. Because do you see Spurs beating Arsenal? Do you see Spurs beating Man City?
Yes. I see Spurs beating Arsenal. Spurs always beat us when they shouldn't, so I can't. I don't want to comment on that.
See it.
Especially the way Arteta just outclassed.
I don't see Spurs getting anywhere near the top 3. But each to their own. I guess we're going to lead into that 3rd place. You have Spurs.
It is Spurs.
Your reasoning behind that, please. I want to know your delusion.
Yeah, look, I know it's a weird pick, but I'm just a big fan of. I'm a big fan of Conte. I'll be completely
honest. You're a big fan of the load of shit that he's been playing all season. They play like utter shit. They're not good.
Here's the thing. Antonio
fucking drew with Brentford.
Antonio Conte always gets results. He always gets results. He's been not great this season, but I do feel he'll come into it when the pressure's on towards the end of the season. I think they still have one of the best. They still have one of the best attacking trios in the league. I will say that.
Yeah, you reckon this season or just in general?
In general.
Yes.
they're yet to they're yet to really come into it. But
Son's
I'm
been
expecting
washed.
I'm expecting Son to begin to come into it now.
Son's
that the
been
World Cup
shit.
is over.
Kulusevski's had been injury prone.
Yeah.
Harry Kane's been good.
Look, like I said, it's a toss up between them and Newcastle. I think they're pretty interchangeable at this moment, but I would put Spurs in. Maybe that's just me not being used to having Newcastle up this high and just putting Spurs up here because of recency bias. But
who do you reckon wins out of Newcastle Spurs in that
Newcastle.
game? In that game, who do you reckon wins?
I reckon Newcastle.
Have they versed yet this season?
That game to me, honestly, it has draw written all over it.
I don't
to be
think
fair,
they've
you could be
In all
right
honesty, it has draw written all over it.
It does.
Just because I feel like Newcastle's attack, is slightly above average to me. Spurs' defense is probably average to slightly above.
They beat Tottenham away from home 2-1 earlier in the season.
I think it was
So the last game is
mate.
at
They're shite.
what's it called? St James's
I
Park.
think the game can go either way. I think it comes
I
down to
heavily
who
disagree.
performs better. On
I
the
reckon
day.
it's gonna be a
Heavily
0-0,
disagree.
mate.
I very much disagree. I think Newcastle win that game easily.
That's fine. But yeah, like
They
I
won
said,
away
they're,
from
they're
home
pretty
at Tottenham
interchangeable.
Hotspur.
They're pretty interchangeable for me.
I would
I
heavily
reckon-
disagree.
Think about it now. I
heavily
probably
disagree.
think about it now. I probably would swap them and put Newcastle third. But
fold
you know.
for me, boy. But
Shut up.
I assume all three of us have Newcastle in at third place.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think they're good. They play good football. They're a bit too far ahead of someone like Liverpool United for me to warrant putting them in a third. And I think they're not gonna. I don't think they'll fall off. I think they're going to get the results against the small teams because they have the squad for that. And I think they've shown this season that they can get the results against the big teams as well. A draw against Man City where they were up in that game by 2 goals and they were definitely in that game. A loss against Liverpool in the 98th minute. Like they show they've had the quality. I think they've been better than the other clubs other than the 2 above them in my opinion. So I think they easily get third place. I think they'll close out towards the end of the season. But anything you guys want to say, Daniel, Ruben? Close out on Newcastle.
Really, I reckon it's just too late now. Newcastle proves to me that they are a big club, and obviously for they haven't spent not that much.
It's
yet.
only upwards from here with the ownership. So
Yeah.
the fact that they're doing this
big
now
chance.
without the money that
Eddie Howe,
Exactly.
man.
It just
Eddie Howe's
proves
at the wheel.
that they're a good team for what they've got so far.
especially improving the signings that weren't good before with Joe Linton hopping into that midfield role.
Resurgence.
That's one of the best
Wobie-esque.
coaching decisions I think.
Oh, Frank Lampard with the Wobie's better in my opinion.
We-
It's the same decision to be honest, but
It
yeah,
is,
It's
but
great. It's a great
It's got to
decision.
be a
making.
really good
to be able to
coach
and what's it
happens.
called scout or what's it called determine those talents that Joe Linton has and say, hey, that'd be good for an 8
Yeah.
playing there. I think it's something that this is a bit of a rogue shout. It's kind of not related, but I think it could happen to Sancho. I could see him dropping into midfield because he's not good enough to be a winger. He's not good. He's not brave enough to take on his man to be a winger. He's not quick enough. I could really see because he's good on the ball. He just doesn't take on his man.
So could you see him being a 10?
I could see him being a 10 or similar to a Wobie 8. If he starts to work hard
I see him being
defensively.
a 10. I'm not sure about an 8.
I don't think.
If he
I
works
don't
hard
think
defensively,
an
I could
8,
see it.
bro.
If
I
he-
do not
I could
see
see
an
it.
8.
a 10. A 10.
I
I think
do
he could
not
be.
see
I think he'd be a good 10.
I think he could be a good 10. I think
I
he'd
think
be
he'd be a
a
solid
As a
10,
10, I think he'd be solid. As an 8,
I just think I just think
I
his
think Ten Hag doesn't really
his-
play with much.
I would
of a 10,
exactly,
that's
but
the
I just
thing.
think his talents suit a
10 rolls dying,
midfielder
remember that.
more.
Oh, yeah.
That is true. The number 10 role is
Is
dying.
I just think his talents suit midfield more. I could see in the future if he ever leaves Man United or even at Man United, I could see him potentially dropping into an 8 or a 10. But it's just me. Second place. Who do you guys have in second place? It's a
I'm
big
gonna go
decision.
with
Here.
Arsenal in second place.
Arsenal. Yeah.
Especially with Arsenal's. I know they've been doing well. They've been phenomenal this season, beating all these teams. I just see Arsenal's fixture list as scary, and it looks very droppable, especially with City. So even when City perform bad, Haaland just comes in and scores anyway. So it's City have been in this situation before as well. The squad are a lot more experienced than Arsenal's when it comes to title races and being behind, especially when Liverpool bottled it and they came through. And I can see it happening again. I can really see it happening again. So I'm going Arsenal second. I'm putting City to win the league.
I think I would agree. Obviously, Alex agrees. He's a Man City fan. Daniel, do you have Arsenal in second place as well?
I honestly, it's 50-50 for me. To be honest, I'm still
It's fair.
undecided.
It's fair.
Like
It's close.
Arsenal, I think I don't know. It's like what you said before. If Partey is done,
If Partey gets injured, they're dropping in
They're
third
fucked.
place.
I know Arsenal
They're
are
dropping
five
in
points
there's
up,
no replacement.
It's
though.
just
but
they're
I
5
think
points
it still
up.
favors City.
With the fixture list as well, City has played most of the top 6 already.
City's known. This thing is
So have
City's
Arsenal,
known
to be
for
fair.
as well to losing.
I still have
as well.
Arsenal, but that's it.
Don't have to play City twice.
That's what I'm saying. My thing is Arsenal have to play City twice. They're 5 points clear. City could easily win both those games.
I'm not going to say easily.
But the
Here's
thing,
my thing
yeah,
with
that's
City.
true because last
As a
season,
Ci-
man,
as a City
Arsenal
fan,
got robbed.
I will
Arsenal
say
did get
this.
robbed against
will-
Man City in that
yeah.
2-1 game. Rodri scored the win.
I
Very
will
well.
say this. I will say this. As a City fan, I've noticed this a lot. City could very easily play like shit and score 3 goals and
Facts.
like
Haaland.
win a game easy in a scoreboard sense.
Haaland.
I feel like they do that quite a lot against teams that aren't as good or not up to our quality.
Mm.
Against better teams, we can play incredibly and just not get results. And I've noticed we do that a lot. We do that a lot in
I just think because the better teams have the better players, so they're able to play the low block a lot better than smaller teams.
Yeah.
So I think
That
Liverpool
absolutely
did.
kills us, man.
That's why. This is again side point. That's why I loved about that Man City game. Is Klopp put his ego to the side and said, "Hey, we're not keeping the ball in this game. I'm going to play the low block," and it worked out really well. So,
Is this the Community Shield game?
no, the one where we beat you 1-0 in the league.
Oh,
Salah scored the winner. You know,
Yeah, that
that
one.
great game that we deserved to win. But first place, obviously, Man City for all of us. They just look good, man. They just look good. I think they rested Erling Haaland. A lot of their players didn't make it that far in the World Cup. I don't think any of them made it to the final, right?
Julian Alvarez.
Oh yeah, but he's not that big of a squad player, if you know what I mean. Like
Whoa.
he hasn't played that much this season. But
He's in my dream front 3, bro. I don't know.
yeah, but he'd be in mine too. But he hasn't played. Pep just hasn't played him as much as he probably should be. But they just have the
He's easing
players.
him into it.
They have the players exactly. But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so
I
they
can see
have the
them
players.
Their squad depth is incredible.
They-
Let's be honest.
Yeah, they're just gonna go.
Their
They're gonna go
second
on a
11
win
could
streak.
probably make the top 4.
They're gonna go on a win streak, and it's just gonna go be insane. But yeah, man, you have to give them their flowers. Pep's done a really good job there. Bottom 3.
Wait, who we got winning the league, boys?
Liverpool City. But bottom 3. I have Bournemouth, Southampton, Nottingham, 18th, 19th, 20th. They all just look shit to me. They all look like shit.
I was gonna go with Bournemouth, Leicester, and Southampton.
Leicester getting relegated. They're in 13th place right now. They are actually. Let's do some quick math here. 4 points clear of the drop, and they
That's
are.
not a lot.
They're 3 points clear of top 10.
Who they got then?
What do you mean?
Who they got?
To play
Now that
soon?
Madison's gone. Oh.
Madison's not gone. He's
Their,
just
their next
Yeah,
match.
yeah,
Their
yeah.
next.
Ward's
Their next
fucking
matches
shit.
are
Their next match
Ward
is.
is.
Liverpool
I do
to
not
Oh,
understand.
no.
He got rid
Liverpool
of
this
Kasper
morning.
Schmeichel and did not sign a replacement. I cannot believe it. Danny Ward is the worst keeper in the Prem. All this Bazunu talk, I do not care. He's
By
the worst
far,
keeper.
he's
He is
shit.
championship quality at best. At best, he is championship
Those
quality.
next 3 games for Leicester don't look very
Yeah,
good
but,
for them. They've got Liverpool, they've got Fulham, and they've got Newcastle.
I think Newcastle's in the cup.
Liverpool, they'll lose to. Newcastle, they'll lose
it's
to.
not-
Oh,
not
it's a,
even-
fu- a
Newcastle's in
fucking
the cup.
cup
It's
game.
not even-
Then they got Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest,
That's
which is
going to be. I reckon
I
it's
can
going to be a
honestly
draw.
see him losing against Nottingham.
I couldn't.
I honestly
if
could.
Madison comes back, I don't see it. But
If he comes back.
I think he will. But Alex, what's your bottom 3 for you?
I had the same bottom 3 as you, but just in a different order. I had Southampton finishing rock bottom. I had
Continue.
I had Southampton finishing rock bottom. I had Bournemouth finishing 19th, and I had sorry, I had Nottingham finishing 19th, and I had Bournemouth finishing 18th.
Yeah.
Bournemouth have impressed me. They really have. I'm
inconsistent.
look. I'm really surprised by. I was expecting them for them to go into the season and rival Derby for the worst Premier League campaign ever, because they just didn't have that kind of squad. Their off-season business was not impressive at all. They made some decent signings like Senesi, but I just didn't expect it from him. But Philip Billing's been really good. He's impressed me quite a bit when I've watched
Jonathan
him.
Lama as well.
Um,
Those two.
Yeah, look, Tavernier as well has been pretty decent.
He's pretty.
He's been alright. But they've impressed me by their ability to grab, points against teams that you'd expect them to lose to. But I don't know how much they keep that up for, or how long they keep that up for. I honestly feel it's more a case of just they're a new team. They're more like unknown to other teams. They win a lot very late in the game. I've noticed that from the times that they have won or picked up points, they leave it very late. So I'd say as the longer the season goes on and the better the conditioning of the players gets as the season goes on, I feel that's going to come into effect less and less. I do see them getting the drop. They could honestly swap places with Nottingham and finish in terms of where they finish. But, regardless, Nottingham, we said this earlier, spent a lot of money. It's just not clicked for them. I think it's down to Steve Cooper personally not being able to get the best out of his players.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Continue.
you're right there. You were just talking about Steve Cooper.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, Steve Cooper's not been able to get the best out of his players. At times, it feels like he doesn't know what his strongest 11 is as well, which is very frustrating.
Because he has he has like 50 that he could run.
It took him like 6 games to start Renan Lodi over to Follow.
Yeah, fair. That's a fair point. But
And he still runs what? Was it Steve Cook and
he played. Bolly played the other game.
Joe Worrell as well.
Last week.
Joe Worrell and Steve Cook and whatever.
Was
and that
ages ago,
defense
but
was just-
they don't look good. Daniel, your bottom 3. Any predictions?
All right, I'm going Southampton,
Facts.
dead last. Then
Fair. That's fair. It could happen.
Nottingham, and Bournemouth.
Fair points.
I reckon they're gonna drop.
Same as me now. It's just in a different order.
Yeah.
But
Like no one's talking about. None of those teams.
I think.
fucking Danny Ward.
But the
He's
thing is,
so
I think
shit.
I could easily see Wolves. What's it called? Filling in for that.
I could not. I honestly, this will be controversial. I could see Everton getting the job.
I think they're going to make a signing in the summer. That's going to change it all.
They
But,
do. They really need some reinforcement.
They are
They are
17th, but
quite dead.
I just don't. I don't put them on the same caliber as that.
They do
I
need
don't.
to-
I don't either. But if I had to pick one team that
Wolves.
I think would be
100%
interchangeable,
Wolves.
it'd be either Wolves or Everton. But I think Wolves will get better under Lopetegui.
Mm.
I honestly
Fair.
think they will.
Fair.
Lopetegui, he's an experienced coach. He's
Yeah, but-
coached at a high level.
But does he have Iwobi, Onana, and Idrissa Gana Gueye?
And James Garner on the bench.
He's
The thing
injured
is,
actually.
you can have an
He
incredible
was
work rate midfield, but when your attack is fucking dry and
Maybe
your defense-
work rates.
Huh?
Have you seen Iwobi? It's top class, best midfielder in the Prem.
when you can have like quality work rate in your midfield, if your attack is dog shit and your defense is dog shit and your keeper
They got Neil
is
Maupay now.
inconsistent as hell.
I just think they just
is.
lack. Damari Gray is good. I think Anthony Gordon just lacks that finishing product. He has lacked it for the second half of this.
Good ball, but
Towards the back end of the season, but
They signed Neil
it's fair.
Maupay.
I think we can all agree the Golden Boot's going to Haaland. I would say that would give him the Player of the Year as well. I think he'd get it,
Yeah.
especially if Man City win the league. If Man City don't win the league, I could potentially see Saka, Odegaard, Partey, one of those guys getting it. Maybe even Saliba.
Saka for me would take it.
I could see
Saka's
Saliba
gonna
getting
count
it, similar to how Ruben Diaz did for Man City if Arsenal won the league. But anyone else? Any other shouts you want to give out for Player of the Year?
Basically summed it up. Yeah.
Player of the year.
Yeah. For me, it's Haaland or maybe
I'll be
Salah. But if
Haaland.
Arsenal
No,
win the league. I think Haaland gets it
Too
regardless.
late, like.
Huh?
Too
No,
late.
but I could see it the same way Diaz did when he came to Man
Did
City
you
and
say
they won the
Salah
league.
or Saka?
Saliba.
Oh, Salah.
William Saliba.
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
you said
That is
Salah.
a shout.
No, Salah's not getting it.
Please,
Timmy,
that's
where's
a
the
shout.
fucking place?
I think it's between Saliba and
Haaland.
It just depends.
See, I think Young Player of the Year will definitely come out of that Arsenal squad.
100%.
If
If
it
it does,
Saka.
that's
it will be
fucking
Saka for
bullshit.
me. But
If Saka gets
in my
robbed
opinion,
again, man,
I'm
such
predicting it to be
bullshit.
Saka. But I think if it's not Saka, it will be Salah, and if it's not Salah, it will be Martinelli.
It
If
has
it's
to
not
be
any
one
of those
three.
three, and it turns out to be Foden, then Foden.
If
will
it's
have to have-
Foden again 3 years in a row
if
after
he
he
pops
fucking
off
robbed
for the
it
rest
twice.
of the season, if he pops off for the rest of the season,
No.
no. If he pops,
I'm
off for the
not
rest of the
having
season,
it.
fair play.
He's not as good as Saka at this point in
This-
time in the
brother,
season.
there's still like
At this
there's
point in
still
time in
Can
the
I
like
put
season.
Mason Mount
Saka's
in
done
this
more.
situation here?
There's not enough.
There's
That's shit.
I know.
But yeah, I think Player of the Year is Haaland in my opinion. Other awards, Manager of the Year, I'd give it to Arteta regardless of what happens.
I was going to say Eddie Howe personally.
Oh, that's fair. I still think
shout.
Arteta.
That is a
That
shout,
is a
in my
shout,
opinion,
but
yeah.
I'd still say
Look,
Arteta for me.
If Arsenal win the league,
I think regardless.
they'll give it to Arteta.
I think
I still
Arteta's
think it's
getting.
Eddie Howe.
I think
Yeah.
Arteta's going to get it regardless. but
Arteta will get it.
Eddie
if they
Howe, I
win,
don't think
but
about that.
Yeah, I reckon Eddie Howe
Yeah.
might.
Like if
Possibly
it's
Arteta.
Arteta, they'll be like, "Oh, look at
Possibility.
this fantastic accolade! They've won the league, underdogs. Arteta gets Manager of the Year."
I still think
If they
Arteta.
don't, if
man.
they don't win it and City win it, they'll give it to Eddie Howe for
I
finishing
still
top
think
four with
Arteta.
Newcastle.
I think Eddie Howe should have won it last season. I think Arteta.
I think it's
This is
purely
crazy.
just down to the fact that
I
Eddie
think,
Howe.
bro,
has
what
done
Arteta's
really
done at
well.
Arsenal's crazy. Like you got to trust
He
the
has,
process,
but look
man.
at what Eddie Howe's done.
Yeah, but Arteta's trust the process. I respect the process more than I respect Eddie Howe. But
Yeah, but they
any
went
other
from
awards?
relegation battles with Steve Bruce to competing with.
That's
the
why I
top
said. That's
four.
why I said I think he
In the
should have got
space
it.
of a season.
That's why I think he should have got it last season, not this season. I think Arteta's this season. For me.
Last season they were outside Europe. Now they're third.
Yeah, but he took him from literal 20th place to what, top 10?
Mhm.
It was like 7th or 8th or 9th or something like that.
And now he's taking
That's
them from
crazy.
top 10 to third, above Liverpool, United.
Yeah, but he took Arteta.
above
He took
Liverpool,
Arsenal
United, Spurs, and
from
Chelsea right now.
from what, 9th to 5th to Now,
The fact
I
that
think the
they
jump
top one.
the jump from 5th to 1st
It's a
right
big
now,
jump.
which will
It's a
probably be
big
second
jump.
by the end of the
it's a
season,
big jump.
it's a big jump,
I just
but
respect
not
what
as
he's
big a
done.
jump as
I just respect what he's
20th to 3rd in the space of little over a season and a half.
I just think Arteta for me. I just think he's that guy. I think that's all the awards, all the important ones at least, all the ones that we can really discuss. But yeah, man, I think that wraps up our little episode today, boys.
Did you boys see Riley McGree's goal overnight?
No, I don't care either.
I don't give a fuck.
I
Really
don't
give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck about that wash, man. But yeah, so we hope you guys enjoyed this episode for today. That should be it for today, and we're gonna see you guys soon in the near future. Alex, any final words? Cheers, love.
Cheers,
Oh,
love, I
you
guess.
stole my line, you prick.
It's all of our line, mate. Come on, that's how it is.
Cheers, love.
Yeah.
Cheers, love.
We'll see you in the next episode. RIP to Pele.
Happy
and
New
Happy
Year.
Happy New
Happy
Year's.
Happy New Year as well. Merry Christmas for all of you that subscribed. And if
Bit
you're not
late,
subscribed, I hope you didn't have a Merry Christmas.
late.
Screw you.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's.
Langford.
Except if you're not
Where's that?
subscribed. Subscribe to the
Perhaps.
channel right now. Get us subscribers because we want YouTube ad revenue. What?
Come to.
Oh.
Tomorrow night.
It's
No.
This is
no,
out.
no,
This is
no,
out.
no, no,
Come
no,
to
no, no.
come to 20. I'm not gonna say that.
No.
Nah,
See,
that's
the
enough.
thing is, you say that this episode's not going to be out till like January the 3rd or something.
Yes, they're just gonna know my they're just gonna know my address.
Come to this address tomorrow for our New
Come
Year's
to
party.
the-
It's going to be out in 4 days.
Edit it
No,
right
no,
now.
no,
Upload
no,
it tomorrow
no.
night. Come. I'm gonna have all of Alex's family at my house. But yeah, we're cutting this bit out, aren't we? Yeah, fair. So, yeah, if we haven't cut this out, bye. That's enough. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Cheers, love.
Cheers, love.